Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 14, entitled Fear. So today we make a pivot. The last 10 days we've been focused on the transformation of desire. It's been about changing the way we live. But now it's about overcoming one of the greatest enemies of the spiritual life, fear. Our pilgrimage for the next 8 days dips into the valley of the shadow of death, not to be dramatic, right? But it's true. It takes us into the place of our deepest fears and 8 of its most diabolical manifestations: the fear of being humiliated, despised, rebuked, calumniated, forgotten, ridiculed, wronged, and suspected. In the Garden of Eden, there was no fear. There was no fear. There was only peace. Adam and Eve had what psychologists would call a secure base. They had a firm foundation of love. They didn't need to numb themselves or distract themselves. They didn't have to prove anything or be perfect for anyone. It never even crossed their mind that love could be lost, or that there was even such a thing as danger. It didn't exist for them. Like a child, they could freely and simply be. There was no doing or having or needing or hoping. There was just the present. There was just love. And then the fall happened. And part of the stain of sin is a perpetual earthly struggle to believe and live out of a place of peaceful trust and surrender to God and his ways. I may want Jesus to take the wheel of my life, shout out to Carrie Underwood, but letting go, letting him have control, that's a whole other story. That part of myself, that part of yourself that wants to hold on to control, that wants to keep a tight grip on the wheel of life, that's the part we're going to be speaking to over the next 8 days. And we're going to do that because Jesus wants us to be free. And he wants us to be free because he wants us to be great at giving and receiving love, specifically his love. Because at the end of my life, what I did for a living, how much money I made, what my house looks like, how many people know my name, basically none of that's going to matter. What will matter will be relationships. The amount of peace I have in that moment will be directly related to how well I loved and how deeply I allowed myself to be loved by God and others. It's a deep dive into the greatest obstacles we have toward love. They're a call out of a mode of self-protection and into the deep waters of a selfless, vulnerable, free, total, and God-like love. Some days the fear will deeply resonate with you, probably to the point of being uncomfortable. On those days, don't run for the discomfort. Lean into it. That's an important moment for you. Treat it like a great teacher with a lesson of utmost importance, or like Paul Revere running into your life to tell you something of great meaning. Other days, we're going to focus on an emotion or a fear that you don't struggle with, or that doesn't resonate, or that doesn't call to mind. That's okay. No need to make a fear out of something that isn't there. But either way, it's good for your awareness of how the enemy works. Because fear is a nasty, nasty, nasty thing. And its primary objective is to prevent us from trusting God and experiencing great love. After all, you cannot be defensive, you cannot hide, you cannot play it safe, you cannot be selfish and be great at love at the same time. I know in many ways I'm doing this pilgrimage through the Litany of Humility because I really want to do my job as a child of God. I want to be great at loving people. I'm responsible for acting in love toward everything and everyone around me. I'm called to love people, to love creatures, to love nature, to love God. And through this litany, it's my prayer that by confronting fear, this prayer and this process is going to help me bridge the gap between how I'm giving and receiving love now and how God created me to give and receive love. And I cannot do that without confronting fear. I cannot do it without addressing fear. So tomorrow we begin with the first fear, which is humiliation. Until then, God bless you.